5 of the OTAs. We got one more day, then minicamp, then a break. But I got some news and notes from today's OTAs. What is up, Finn fans? We're getting there. We're slowly crawling towards training camp, and then we get to the season as I slowly crawl towards 100K subscribers. Irrelevant. Just completely irrelevant. So we had a presser from Mike McDaniel today that I'm going to talk about on the field stuff. Then some news and notes, give or take, which there's one news and note that I think I'll probably start with. And then I'll show you some footage that the Dolphins released. It's nothing crazy, but it's just fun to see. But the one thing I do want to show is this little tidbit of information right here from Adam Schefter. Source: former Bills and Jags wide receiver Gabe Davis is scheduled to travel to Pittsburgh on Wednesday to visit with the Steelers on Thursday. Pittsburgh has been seeking additional receiving help and is inquired about, but is not expected to trade for Miami's tight end Jonnu Smith. So is Jonnu staying in Miami? Are the Dolphins going to give him a little bit more money, incentive-based, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah? Going to be very interesting to see how that all pans out. But I think it's funny that, you know, they talking about Gabe Davis, and at the very end, they say Steelers are not expected to trade for Jonnu. And I think that's probably because in the conversation, they probably were, you know, Jonnu or, you know, Drew Rosenhaus or whatever said, you know, what Jonnu wants, which is a contract extension. And Pittsburgh's probably like, well, I don't know if we're going to give you that much. And that might be where Miami's like, see, you want X amount of money. No one's going to give you X amount of money. We'll give you Z amount of money, and let's Z if you like it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I plugged in my soundboard. Trying something different today. So Mike McDaniel and Jonnu Smith, he says it's complicated if you're allowed to, if you allow it to be. I try to stay connected to my job and what people need from me. My role isn't negotiating, but coaching. He's an important person and player. He's a professional. Essentially saying it's out of his hands. It's up to Greer, yada, yada, with the negotiations and everything. But I will say he did help get Tua his contract, seemingly going to Stephen Ross and saying, hey, give him his contract. So Jonnu Smith has been around the OTA program. The relationship and the privacy of the situation is important to me. Guys have social media, so if they wanted to holler at you, that's from Mike. They have been voluntary activists that have appeared no voluntary, but the nature of the approach on Miami's OTA. So there has been voluntary activists. It's activists that have appeared non-voluntary. I think it's activities, but the nature of the approach. Essentially saying it's you don't have to be here, but it's nice if you're here. He looked as good as ever. He optimizes what I see, which is, this is talking about Austin Jackson, which is the National Football League in full of opportunities. He talks about Butch Berry, leads that group as good as any. Zero. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel says zero has changed on my end when it comes to Jalen Ramsey trade talk. Again, he doesn't have much to do about it. I don't really check in on day to day and have zero change in my mind. Again, about Jalen Ramsey. Talking about Jalen Waddle, he says he's humble approach his craft, attacking it. He isn't satisfied with any part of his game. I got a video to show you. Jalen Waddle seems like he's a man on a mission this year to show he can be and is the number one receiver going forward for the Miami Dolphins, and it really is showing that. McDaniel, more on Waddle, said, I'm really excited about 2025 has in store for him based on what I'm seeing. Again, talking about Jalen Wright, he said he benefited by coming into the league with a very crowded room. More on the OTA talk. He says, awesome one-day efforts. We're looking to continued consistency. think we're pretty much all on that. McDaniel on tour earning the orange jersey. He says the previous practice he had the most ownership of all the players, particularly on non-passing downs. Take with that what you will. McDaniel on tour, he said, performed, executed, and was very competitive. Didn't allow the ebbs and flow of practice to impact him. Some of the other guys have talked about too, and we'll talk about that when I get to the player pressers. But they talked about him really taking a leadership role, which the Dolphins need because they lost two big leaders in Calais Campbell and Teron Armstead. More on to it, he says he really has command and resolve with the practice, within the practice of things. He epitomizes a player who doesn't waste his rookie season. This is about Patrick Paul. He really chopped wood each and every day. You can see his big vision scope by the way he chopped wood. See him doing top tier things in individuals. I hope so. Because again, you're going from Teron Armstead and not knocking him, but Teron Armstead to Patrick Paul. Coaching can take you so far. There's another level of coaching tied to peer ownership that is a vessel that can help younger players. A huge cheat coach code, I think, to be able to develop offensive tackles is having Teron Armstead around, which if you guys remember, he was there for I think the first day of OTAs. Asked if there's a win now or rebuild on the fly, McDaniel said, we want to maximize our opportunity. We had good young players that are football focused that can be good, productive players early. The Dolphins are putting rookie classes on ice are over. I guess you could say like with Cam Smith not getting, first nods and stuff like that. But I feel like your hand's kind of forced with not playing rookies because you don't have much. McDaniels asked if he's confident Jonnu Smith will be on the roster. I haven't considered anything other than I want him on the team and he wants to be here. That's a very PC answer. I want him here. He wants to be here. I haven't considered anything else. I want him here, but other things could happen. My hope, I haven't really considered, I already said that. I'm trying to be detailed in, okay, this is Jalen Wright. So we'll come back to this because these are player pressers. We'll come back to that. Let's get to some on the field stuff. I'll give you a little quick videos. This is Brian Baldinger. Brian Baldinger said, lots of new faces and the return of some elite players. Baldy breakdown. If he does a breakdown, be very excited for the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, we'll react to it. But it was raining, and they stayed outside, and they practiced OTAs in the rain, which is good. Your orange jersey for the day is, I wish I had a drum roll sound effect, Chop Robinson, which I am very happy about. Him and Jalen Phillips, my two stands. Again, everyone likes to say I'm a two stand. Nope. I used to play defensive end, and I love Chop and Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. Hopefully one day he unblocks me. But these are my two guys, and I'm very happy that these, Phillips got an orange jersey, and now Chop got an orange jersey. Let's talk about on the field stuff. After throwing a couple of ducks in the previous practice session open to reporters, Zach Wilson threw an interception in Tuesday's session, but also had some very good moments. Fatu Melifonwu, a front runner to start at safety, made a pick on Wilson's pass intended for Tariq Black. In a real game, the play likely would have ended with a sack. Second-year edge player Grayson Murphy had another would-be sack on Wilson. Later, Murphy had a free rush on Tua, resulting in another sack. On the right side, Wilson showed good zip on a pass to rookie tight end Jalen Conyers and connected with Black on the sideline throw, which required a nice toe tap from Black. He also hit Tanner Connor for a third down conversion, and later he connected with D. Estridge for 40-yard completion over cornerback Isaiah Johnson. Makes me feel better. Obviously, you heard, we know about the interception, which makes me happy about Fatu Melifonwu getting an interception, but I'm happy hearing Wilson is progressing and he's showing more, and hopefully as it goes on, especially OTAs, we're going to minicamp and then training camp, he starts to really get comfortable in this offense and really starts to do, show that why the Dolphins brought him in as a backup quarterback. Because again, from what I'm hearing, it's only day 5 of OTAs, but it's concerning me. I'm holding my, judgment, but it is concerning me a little bit. Rookie quarterback Quinn Ewers, who who we hear has some good moments in the past 2 weeks, had a pass deflected with an interception by North Carolina State rookie linebacker Eugene Asante. Ewers developed good chemistry with rookie receiver A.J. Hennings in 7-on-7 work. Former 7th-round pick Taj Washington, who missed his rookie season with an injury, dropped the pass from Tua. A play that should have been a 20-yard reception. An end around to Jalen Waddle was eaten up by Terrell Dotson, limiting the play on a short gain. Rookie running back Ollie Gordon III had an impressive cutback on first down. The Dolphins have been rotating corners, trying to get a fair look at everyone. Kendall Sheffield, signed after tryouts in May, has looked promising. And I think, and again, we have a show tonight, the Dolphin Collective, so be sure to come over, hang out. It's at 7:30. And again, I know some people don't like some of the people that are on that panel, but the whole point of the panel is it's like a yin and yang type situation where it's like me and TD have such polar opposite takes, and people don't like me but like TD, and people don't like TD but like me. We're there to keep each other in check. So come check it out. And if you like it, hit the subscribe button. All I ask is just check it out. See what you think. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can just exit out and be like, I gave it a shot. But Omar Kelly talked about OTAs and minicamp. What Greer does is he kind of sees what they have and, okay, we need to address this situation. And then they go out and address it in the month after. And then having that rotation at corner probably is what you're seeing. Some attendance notes while reminding the participants it's voluntary. Tight end Jonnu Smith and defensive lineman Zach Sealer remain away from the team, which is often the norm for players seeking more money. So yes, Sealer is probably seeking more money. Neither Sealer nor his camp has confirmed his absence is related to desire for a better contract. He signed a 3-year extension in August of 2023. One that could pay him as much as $38.3 million that runs through 2026. Smith wants a deal, and the sides have had discussions. Both players are represented by, guess who? Drew Rosenhaus. Receiver Tyreek Hill continues to work his way back from a wrist surgery. On Tuesday, he put on his wrist brace and started sprinting with training overseeing it. Bradley Chubb, who hasn't played in 17 games, worked with the starters, had a sack. Jalen Phillips, working his way back from last September's knee injury, did not do 11-on-11s. Cornerback Cam Smith was in attendance last Wednesday. Smith left practice holding his left leg after being beaten by Waddle on a deep pass that we all saw from Tua. But Smith returned later in practice session and seemed fine today. Tight end Tanner Conner had a nice catch on a slant route from Tua. Running back Jalen Wright became immersed in a mild shoving match with safety Ashton Davis. I want to say Shante. Ashton Davis at the end of a play. Good. I want to see that. I don't want to see Kumbaya all the time. I want to see a little fight. Come on. Wright was helpless trying to pick up a blitz. Willie Gay Jr., who would have sacked Wilson in a real game. That scream is hilarious to me. But Wright rallied with a 10-yard run on a good block by number 3 tackle Larry Borum, and also had a nice 20-yard carry. Outside linebacker Chap Robinson wearing the orange jersey. Robinson made another good play Tuesday, beating Western Michigan rookie Addison West for a enforcing a throwaway. Running back Alexander Madison dropped a 5-yard out pattern. And rookie 7th-round pick Zeke Biggers stuffed Gordon in the backfield for a loss. Biggers fittingly is the team's biggest nose tackle. The Dolphins listed him at 6'5", 321. Benito Jones is the shortest and 6'1", 335. And that is what you got for on the field stuff. I'm going to show you some video footage of what they had. You got this one here. It's just them stretching on the field, rain or shine. They're out there working, which is nice to see. This article here made me laugh. So this is from NFL Notification. Tua reportedly handling wet balls very well at today's OTA session. Tua struggled mightily in his career with gripping balls, but has been putting in the work correctly.
Hey, yo!
Whoa. Relax on that one, my guy. Then this one here, you got the big boys working, doing their thing like a chicken wing. I think that's Grant, Kenneth Grant and Biggers. Looks like they're like driving a little race car. Oh, I'm sorry. What else do I got for you guys? This one is Achan. Just warming up, doing some routes. I'll let it play again so you can see it. Catching it. Willie Gay here. Doing his thing. But I will never, ever get over this. I might put that in the soundboard. I might put that scream in the soundboard. Jordan Brooks doing some work as well. These are tackling drills. If you want to know what it is, you get off your block, shed your block, wrap up. Don't shoulder hit, wrap up. That's essentially what these are. Correct me if I'm wrong. You probably will. This is what I wanted to show you. This is Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like, you could just see just the speed. Right? I'm not gonna overanalyze Tyreek Hill's, but just watch Jalen Waddle's. Next year he's wide receiver 1. So what are you gonna do there? I'm just gonna pop this up real quick. I think we're gonna talk about this tonight. Do I agree with this? I like to ruffle feathers. I like to mess with people. This is gonna piss some people off. I'm here for it. I didn't make the list, but I'm here for it. Overall today, rainy practice. Tua had a good practice. 2 interceptions from the backups. Again, it's only day 5 of the OTAs, but it does make me like a little uneasy, just like the corners make me a little uneasy. I do reserve my final, thoughts and processes before the season starts. I give you kind of a breakdown of the way I think of the team's looks and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get to the player pressers. My apologies for that. Miami Dolphins, Jalen Waddle says he learned a lot as a rookie about the speed of the game. He learned from Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane. The big boy, Patrick Paul, said he does feel pressure, adding he was built for this. Patrick Paul is a very big person. This is from Joe Shad. He said what he does, he gets asked at the grocery store or at Target, do you play basketball? And, you play football, linebacker? What I get asked a lot at the grocery store is, can you get that for me? I swear to God. It's like the biggest thing I get asked at grocery stores is the top shelf stuff. Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to bother you. Can you get that for me? I'll make sure. Patrick Paul says he's down to 320, looking to stay at that weight heading into the season. Maybe the speed of how big I am. Patrick Paul says the offensive line is an art, and one day things are just going to click. Terrell Dotson said his message to his agent in free agency was finding the best deal possible, and it ended up being re-signing with the Dolphins. Good. I'm very glad he's there. He said you can lose a game and win a game just off of communication. If Miami and if me and JB, Jordan Brooks, aren't on the same page, that's a bomb over our heads. Yes, 100% on offense and defense, especially when it comes to offense routes run. No matter who you are, be accountable and ready to play. Our energy is different, is what Dotson said. This is from Jalen Waddle. It seems like they're all over the place. They are connected, communicating good. This is a business, Waddle said. People have different business things going on. When talking about the NFL, obviously, he's probably talking about Ramsey and stuff. He's playing very well in his second spring. Austin Jackson said of Chop. He's a lot more active with his hands and is a lot more comfortable. Dolphins wide receiver on his team's cornerbacks. He says they are extremely good. They're making it real tough on the receivers. They are looking really, really good. It's not even going. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. We're gonna need to step up. I think he's just being nice. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's just being nice. Tua is a lot more confident and decisive on and off the field. He's a full-blown leader. That is from Austin Jackson, and that is all I got for you tonight. I'm bringing the calendar back. I'm going to give you a fact. The Dolphins ranked 5th among all NFL teams in 2020 with an average of 34.9 yards per offensive possession. I'm going to bring the calendar back. tomorrow will be a fact. But that's what I got for you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think of all the stuff going on the field. Day 5 of OTAs. Again, it is only day 5, but I'm very interested to see what you guys feel about today. I will see you tomorrow. There is no OTAs, but I will have a video planned for you. And then Thursday is the last day of OTAs, and then we go to minicamp. So, like usual, stay classy and fins up.